Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in France for the G7 summit. He will be joining world leaders for a dinner shortly. He will be meeting US President Donald Trump at 3:45 p.m. IST on Monday. The meeting is expected to last for about 45 minutes. This will be the second meeting between the two this year itself. Remember, the meeting is happening amid US-India trade friction and also in the backdrop of India's move to abrogate Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. All in all, the Indian Prime Minister will be holding 4 bilaterals on the sidelines of the G7 summit. And our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, has been getting us the very latest. Siddhant, a lot of issues, of course, that remain on agenda as far as India's top concerns are concerned, specifically when Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets with US President Donald Trump.
Well, it's a very, very important meeting. It's a crucial meeting given the fact that in last 2 months since they last met on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Osaka, we have seen US President Donald Trump 3 times referring to mediation by Washington when it comes to India-Pakistan, something that has irked New Delhi. In fact, New Delhi has time and again reiterated that when it comes to India and Pakistan, the relationship is governed by the Lahore and the Shimla Agreement, which means no third-party mediation. But before this visit of the American president, there was a background of briefing in Washington in which the American side clearly stated that when it comes to the issue of Jammu and Kashmir, the removal of the special status of Jammu Kashmir by New Delhi, it's an internal matter for New Delhi. It's the first time that Washington has publicly come out and said that it's India's internal matter, but also talked about the issue of cross-border terrorism, saying that US President Donald Trump has been reiterating to the Pakistani side that they should not let terrorist infrastructure inside the country, inside the territory under its control, to cause damage in India and, of course, Afghanistan, destabilize the region, something that has been a cause of worry for both Kabul and New Delhi. But other than that, when both the sides will be sitting tomorrow at 3:45 p.m. Indian Standard Time, they will be discussing other issues as well, trade being another important and crucial issue. In fact, it's a contentious one given the fact that U.S. President has been publicly voicing his concerns on the issue of trade, especially tariff, even calling India a tariff king. We know that in Osaka, both sides agreed to restart the trade negotiations. We saw some meetings happening in Delhi itself, and then it was expected the Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal will be going to Washington to sort out the differences. That is something that will be discussed, and maybe that might get another booster shot by both sides. But by and large, New Delhi and Washington are partners. They are allies, both focusing on Indo-Pacific, something that has emerged as a major concept by both the sides, with both considering each other as the bookend of this concept, and more countries are joining this concept. In fact, the ASEAN has been very vocal about the Indo-Pacific concept, but of course Beijing is not very, very keen. It finds the concept very a concept which might isolate Beijing or views it with suspicion. So by and large, a lot of things will be on table. It's a crucial meeting, and of course it's the Indian Prime Minister visiting after a gap of over 10 decades. The last time an Indian Prime Minister was at G7 was in 2005, when the then Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was invited by the then British Prime Minister Tony Blair. So the French have invited the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, showcasing the goodwill and growing closeness between France and India.
Absolutely. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi arriving in France to attend the G7 summit, a crucial meeting that's also lined up with US President Donald Trump. That's to take place tomorrow. In just a short while from now, the Indian Prime Minister will also be joining other world leaders for a dinner as a part of the summit. We're going to leave it there for the moment. Siddhant Sibal, appreciate you joining us with those details.